What's up everyone, IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm talking about Wild Turkey's Russell's Reserve. Now this is an ongoing series that I am doing on Wild Turkey. I just did the Maker's Keep Wild Turkey, all 5 of them. You can go and check it out. I've put a link below to everything that they make so that you can keep up to it, and at the same time I'm gonna cover all of the rest of the line, so you should subscribe if you want to catch all of that. Now let's talk about Russell's Reserve. Now what is Russell's Reserve? Well, first of all, this is named after Jimmy Russell. Jimmy Russell is a Hall of Famer. I mean, he is a living legend. He is a man that has defined Kentucky straight bourbon and rye here for more than 40 years. Now, he took his retirement in 2015. I'm sure that he still hangs around. And Jimmy passed down the torch to his son, Eddie Russell. And Eddie Russell has been taken over, like I said, since 2015. Now, let's take a closer look at the whole Russell lineup, since there is 5 of them. Some of them are accessible and some of them are extremely hard to find, especially when we look at the vintage ones. Let's start with the Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. Now, this has an ABV of 45 or a proof of 90. This mash bill is 37% corn, 51% rye, and 12% barley. That enters a level 4 charred barrel at 114 proof. And this retails for $40 to $50. Then we have the Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey Single Barrel. Now this has an ABV of 52 or 104 proof. And this mash is once again the same as the previous one, 37% corn, 51% rye, and 12% barley. This also enters a level 4 charred barrel at 114 proof. And this is also $40 to $50. Then we have the Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Now this has an ABV of 45 or a proof of 90. This mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% barley. That enters a level 4 charred barrel at 114 proof. And this retails for $60 to $70. Then we have Russell's Reserve Straight Bourbon Whiskey Single Barrel. Now this has an ABV of 55 or a proof of 110. And this mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% barley. This also enters a level 4 charred barrel at 114 proof, and this retails between $60 to $70. And then we have Russell's Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Barrel Proof. Now this has an ABV of 57 or 114 proof, but it does change depending on the vintage that you get, since the first release was in 1998, and that is the one that's impossible to find. But there is some 2002 and 2003 out there that you can find if you're willing to pay between $900 to $2,500, depending on the market that you're in. All right, now when we look at this, I mean, this is Jimmy Russell's classic here. You can't really beat this for the money. It's a real banger for the buck. I mean, you do get the Russell's Family Reserve at the top that are embossed onto this packaging. It's pretty straightforward. You have a little explanation of his historic life, what he's done in the industry. Then you have his signature, his son's signature, the 10-year-old, and this is pretty simple. I mean, I like it. It does remind me a little bit of the Maker's Keep that I just did a review of, and like I said, there's a link below in there. So let's get to the tasting notes of this and see how good it is. But before that, do you want to taste like a pro? Head over to tastingskills.com, put your name and email into the magical yellow box, and I will send you my free 17-page guide to the fundamentals of tasting. All right, with that out of the way, let's get into this Russell Reserve 10-year-old. On the color, you get this deep amber with some serious orange color and hints of red. On the nose, you get this intense corn nose of layers of wood that has hints of cherries, oranges, cedar, caramel, and layers of charred oak. But this is all subtle, since you really need to get in there. There is also some light hints of dried fruit like apricot. On the mouthfeel, this is so well balanced, since everything isn't overpowering. You get the sweet notes of the charred oak that are mixed with notes of the cherries, zesty oranges that have caramel and burnt sugar into a sweet long finish that is spicy. This is equally mixed with the high alcohol, and that matters, since the 90 proof ends up giving you layers of sweet notes that drive this never-ending acidity. This bourbon is so well balanced. Yes, it's 90 proof, but remember, this is 10-year-old, and for $70, this is a real steal. I mean, this had so many layers to it. It was beautiful, well balanced, just tons of fruit. The nose was expansive. You really got in there. You would get all these lovely cherries and zesty notes, all well intermingled. Just a beautiful, beautiful bourbon. Now, do I recommend this? This is an absolute buy. I mean, all of these are really accessible if you can actually find them. That is probably the only problem since everybody does the line to get them. But if you can find any of the ryes or any of the bourbons, you absolutely need to buy these. And if you're rich and crazy, then you should try to get the vintage ones. For me, those are complete collector's item. They're super hard to get and they're just out of my price range. So make sure that you check out Russell's Reserve. I've put a link to everything below. Like I said previously, this is just an amazing man and an amazing legend, and it's something that you need to pay attention to. All right, that's gonna do it for me. I'm IAMOBG for tastingskills.com. Please remember to smash that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe and go down there and click the bell. Otherwise, my friend, please remember, stay sober. Peace.